So there's a lot of things that can help you be a better leader. But this one in this video is the greatest quality that you must have to be a successful leader. So if you're ready to elevate yourself, elevate your team, stand by. Welcome to the channel, Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help new managers become more confident leaders, and I do this with no nonsense sense, if that makes any sense. Now, before we get into the video, this Saturday evening, March 26th at 8 p.m., I am going live on this very channel that you're watching this video on. Come join me. AMA, Ask Me Anything. Let's do it. So what is this mystery quality that I'm talking about? It's EQ, emotional intelligence. All I can think about is this guy when I think emotional intelligence.
Emotional, damn it!
What is EQ? What is emotional intelligence? In short, it's the ability to understand and manage your emotions. It's the ability to understand and manage the emotions of people around you. It's almost like a Jedi mind trick where you're able to know people's triggers. You're able to pick up on how they're going about their day, how their day has been treating them. Now, with emotional intelligence, there are three key elements that you need to focus on, that you need to improve to really maximize your intelligence. The first one is self-awareness. You need to be able to look yourself in the mirror, look deep into your soul, and know what triggers you, know what excites you. Really understand how you react to certain situations, how you react with certain types of people. By having this awareness, you are then able to manage your feelings. You're able to manage your emotions to get the best out of yourself and to help bring the best out of your team. Self-awareness it's really looking inside. It's really understanding what annoys you. What makes you happy? What scares you? How are you going to react in certain situations? This is self-awareness. It's an understanding. It's learning who you are at your core. The second element is self-regulation. This is being able to bite your tongue when you want to really just give it to the guy that said such stupid things at the meeting, but you know better, so you're going to bite your tongue. Because giving it to that guy isn't going to help the situation. Self-regulation means that you're not going to make major decisions when you're emotional about the situation or the decision to be made. If somebody has really upset you, you're not going to fire them on the spot because you are regulating yourself. You know that you're worked up. You know that you may not say things the way that they need to be said. You know that you've been triggered. And you're able to regulate yourself. You're able to remove yourself from a situation. You're able to know you're going to snap, know you're going to cry, know you're going to laugh at the person, and you can pull back and say, let me just collect my thoughts. Give me a second. And most importantly, self-regulation means that your values will not be compromised. You know who you are. You know what values are important to you. And under no circumstances will you compromise them, especially if you're in an emotional state, especially if you're in a situation that just does not fit right. The emotional intelligence and the self-regulation means that you'll pull back to reassess what's going on to make sure that you are staying within your values. Your values, not their values, not my values. What you value. You will self-regulate to stay within that. And the third key element is empathy. You're able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You're able to pick up on subtle body movements. You're able to pick up on subtle changes in somebody else's voice. An example of this is you ask somebody to stay late. Like, we got to get this work done. I need you to put an extra hour, after, pay the overtime, all that stuff. Let's ignore that. But you've asked somebody to do something and stay late. And you pick up on their voice that they're not happy about it. As a leader, as a general boss, you can just say, too bad. This is what needs to be done. But as a leader who has EQ, you can pick up on that and you can ask questions. You can sometimes staying late is not ideal, but it has to happen. But as a manager with a strong EQ, you can pick up on that and you can ask questions. Maybe there's something really important that they don't want to tell you or they haven't told you that maybe you want to change the situation to help them out. Or maybe you want to make it up to them after the fact, but just acknowledging that it's not ideal for them to stay late tonight, even though it's a must for the business, that sets you apart because now you can understand what people are going through. What if they have nobody else to watch their kids? What if they have to go pick their mother up from a hospital appointment? These are all things that with a high EQ, you're able to pick up on these subtleties that maybe people aren't actually saying, but you're feeling it. So having empathy and making sure that you put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Now, I know some people who's like, I was in their shoes. Now I'm the boss. I don't need to worry about how they feel. I don't want to be all up in their feelings. I can understand that to some degree. But when you were in their shoes, wouldn't it have been fantastic if the boss you had took into consideration your thoughts and your feelings? And again, this isn't one of those videos where like we're all up in people's feelings and everybody just gets to cry and get their way. That's not this channel. But we do want to make sure that we understand what's going on and why people are feeling a certain way. And if we can help, we do so. EQ is one of those things that, you can be book smart and you can know the algorithm and all of the things that a boss technically needs to know to get a job done. And that's great. But it's the EQ that separates a boss from a leader, a manager from a leader. The EQ is something that you learn over time. It's not taught in school, not to my knowledge. It's something you have to take upon yourself. Where I personally learned how to hone my EQ was being in the restaurant industry, where like I'm trying to make money, I'm trying to make a living. So I need to know, is this person in a good mood? Do they want to chat? Do they want me to get the hell away from them? These are all things that I learned to pick up on based on body language, based on tone of voice, based on facial movements. Start looking at the people you're talking to. Start trying to pick up on these things. And then like any muscle, you train it, you work it, it gets stronger. Having a high EQ helps you stand out as a fantastic leader, as someone people want to follow. If you combine that with looking the part so that people just make that connection, that's where you start making huge moves in your career. So what I want you to do now is watch this video, which is 7 ways to look more professional when you have the EQ and you've got the looks and everything that goes along with it. You are a powerhouse of a leader. I'll see you in the next video right after I get my coffee.